Rogers does as well.
1, 2, 3. Henry, stop counting.
Welcome back to the channel and on to the Tron train. Today's destination is Team Tramway, as I will give you guys my Super Rugby Pacific Team of the Season. So, grab your tickets, sit back and relax, as this will be an awesome ride! Toot toot! So, my number on my front row, excuse me, as follows: Xavier Numia, Hurricanes, partners Cody Taylor of the Crusaders, and Michael Alatoa of the Brumbies. These three were the most dominant three I could ever pick. Cody in particular really impressed me during the season and was just a menace every time he had the ball. His line out of throwing was absolutely immaculate, and his running lines were just dynamic. And every time he was hitched back at the mall or at the back of the mall, excuse me, he was just a menace, destroying every defense in his way. So, yeah, he did a really great job captaining the Crusaders in Scott Barrett's absence, and he was a valuable asset to my dream team for most weeks. He was the top picked hooker most weeks. So, Xavier Numia and Alan Alatoa really impressed me with one thing: their performances at scrum time were absolutely nuts. Every time they scrummed against their opponents, they would just destroy them. And yeah, it was just an exceptional season for those two. And yeah, they also were quite threatening in the breakdown and during the little pick and go scenarios, they would get little flecks of the ball and just cause havoc every time they had it. Numia was particularly threatening as he was just a menace with ball in hand. His defense was a real highlight for me as well. And yeah, Alan Alatoa got picked mostly because of his leadership, but also his work ethic was just on point for this season, and yeah, I just couldn't be more happier with that selection. He also showed his attacking prowess. His carries were just immense, and he really showed that he can take defenders on like no tomorrow. And yeah, he was just a menace every single time for the Brumbies. And yeah, he was quite the menace with ball in hand, scoring lots of tries and just being mostly a ball hawk. So yeah, he also really impressed me with his defense as well as just his leadership. He really calmed his boys down during the season and just cheered his boys up with motivational quotes. And I've picked him as vice captain for this team because of this ability. He doesn't let his leadership get in the way of his game. He just leads by example and just does the job. So yeah. 4 and 5 were quite tough. I had about 6 players for just 2 positions. But the lucky men to get the 4 and 5 jerseys, Scott Barrett of the Crusaders and Josh Berry of the Blacks. These two really impressed me with their carrying ability and their line-out jumping. They got ahead of the opposition quite often with their timing and just poked the ball on their side for their teams. They were also quite good at getting penalties for their team as well. Scott Barrett also was quite good in the leadership role during most games. He was really taking the young boys on his wing or under his wing and just showing what a leader does by example, and his all-around game just really impressed me during the season. So yeah. While Josh Berry just impressed me with so much of his skills, his open play ability was just on show during the whole season, and he just provided so many opportunities for his team. So yeah, and he was just a menace on attack and defense. So yeah, he really showed what he can do. Hopefully he translates that Super Rugby form into NBC this season, because man, was he good or was he brilliant? 6, 7, and 8. I've gone with Ethan Blackler of the Crusaders, Carlo Tizano of the Western Force, and the 4th of the Crusader contingent in this team. Or, yeah, actually, there's been a late change. I was originally gonna go with Christian Willie, but I have decided to go now with the man, the myth, the absolute legend, Adi Savia of Moana. Adi was just really on show during the last couple weeks of the season. His performance against the Blues really comes to mind, and he was just a menace. While Tizano and Bakela were just doing what a loose forward normally does. They had Superman power on them during the whole season, and Bakela was just absolute menace some weeks. So yeah, and he really took a resurgence as soon as he got back from injury. His performance against the Hurricanes really comes to mind. While Tizano got selected because of his all-round game, he really impressed me during the whole season, and he was just a menace. He drilled it out with super secret for my own inside position for this team, but I overwhelmingly chose Tizano over him because he has got something Karifi doesn't. His offensive work gets over Karifi's because he's just a menace in the mall. And you never see that from a number 7 and his large weight and the breakdowns. So yeah, Duplessis, sorry mate, you were almost close, but Carlo Giuliano gets it over you. Sorry about that, mate. You had a really good season. 9 and 10 is Nathan Hasty of the Highlanders and Patrick Pellegrini of Moana Pacifica is my first five. Hasty really performed during the season and he was my number 9 for most weeks. He had a close battle with a few number 9s during the end of the season. His major competitor for this team, who was on the bench, by the way, was Noah Hoffman, as he just really performed. Hasty got over him because of his little snipe that he does, and he just really impressed me with his magical play as well. Pellegrini was the first man on the team sheet for this team because of his kicking and his calmness when leading Moana around the park was just insane, and he just really showed what he can do. Now on to the midfield, and this is where we find my captain. Timothy Tavatavanawai from the Highlanders captains this team. He will partner up alongside Renekita. Tavatavanawai was just brilliant with his attacking and defensive prowess. He just turned or had so many turnovers during the season, and he just went through so many defenders throughout the season, and he was just an absolute menace. So he gets the 12th jersey, while Renekita gets the 13 jersey because he just really stepped up from round 4 again. Really close battles here, but I ultimately went for Akita because of one thing. He has the absolute favourite attribute of mine, which is his ability to just side through opposition defenders and be a great support player, as well as sometimes a crash ball player, and he just really impressed me. On to the victory. And my goodness, does this make you die of thirst or not? Kyron to Motherwell on the Moana Pacifica is on the left wing with Steve Reese on the right, and of course the man, the myth, the absolute legend who beat out guys like Finn Hurley and Ruben Love for this position. But Hurley had a great season until he was injured. But yeah, it's unfortunate for him that he was still in contention. Is Will Jordan. My God, man, in the last few weeks of this season, he was brilliant. Or when he was on the field, he was brilliant. And he just provided the Crusaders with such ability to run through opposition defenders like Nolan Morrow, and yeah, he was just a menace throughout the season, and yeah, he was just an absolute threat for the Crusaders, and he really impressed me during the weeks that he was on. So he takes my number 15 jersey. Series and current Mother were just menaces out on the wider channels for their respective teams, and yeah, they were just on point, and yeah, they just were on. When they were on, making opposition defenses look like fools, and yeah, they were just on point. Now to the bench, and the reserve hooker was quite contested. Ioane Moanane, Samasoni Tokiaho, and Jack Taylor were the three contenders I had for this role. But backing up Cody as Samasoni Tokiaho. Samasoni was just a menace for the Chiefs, and when he was an open player, he was just an absolute monster, and yeah, he was just on point, and yeah, he was also really good on defense and in the breakdown. When he was in open space, God, he was a threat, and he just went crazy, and yeah, he was just an absolute monster. My favourite plays of his was when he was on the charge. He would just barge through defenders like no tomorrow and just cause some havoc, and yeah, he was just a menace. 17 and 18 are Joshua Fossitua of the Blues and Felici Say Taufau of the Heart of Moana Pacifica. Sorry. Those two were just menaces with ball in hand, and they really impressed me during scrum time. And when they had the ball in hand, God, they were on point. Taking up carries like big sausages on a barbecue. Felici say for his performance really comes to mind against the Waratahs. For me, he was just an absolute menace in that game, and he really got the ball rolling and put himself on the mat. And yeah, well, Josh Fossitua just really impressed me with his scrummaging, as well as what I've just mentioned as well. No particular performances stand out here. 19 and 20, Fabian Holland of the Highlanders and Miracle Whangangi of Moana Pacifica. These two were just absolutely on it. Fabian Holland had a really good game in all of his matches that he played. He was in particularly good against the Blues and Moana Pacifica in round 3, as he really stole Moana's lineup and just performed really well. And yeah, he was also quite potent on offense during that game, and yeah, well, Miracle Whangangi really got to mind against the Hurricanes, as well as some other games as well. His free drives really impressed me, and he was just a nightmare on defense during that game in round 5. So, yeah, no Hotham, Damien McKenzie, and Corey Toll of the Crusaders, Chiefs, and Brumbies, respectively, my vet 3 replacements. Corey Toll was just a menace out in the water channels, and yeah, he was just causing so much havoc for opposition wingers, and yeah, while Damien McKenzie was just really performing quite solidly, and yeah, his performance against Moana Pacifica in round 6 really comes to mind, as in that game he was just a menace, and Noah Hotham was just causing so much havoc. His performance against the draw was one that comes to mind as well. So there it is, Trons and Tronettes. By the way, the reason why that performance against the draw is so memorable was because his combination with Verse 5 and Hamilton for his schoolmate Taha Kimura was just awesome to watch. So, yeah, there it is. I hope you enjoy my team. Sorry for the lack of other players. And yeah, so I'll leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your support during the Super Rugby season, and just continue to stay awesome, warrior. Thank you for riding on the Tron train with me today. I had a really fun time choosing these players as much as watching them, and yeah, I will see you guys in another video in the future. Please take your belongings as we have arrived at our destination station, and yeah, just stay awesome. And I'll see you guys later. Ciao!